What's going on, guys? So today I wanted to express to you why I absolutely hate Flareside pickups. A little bit of background about what's going on. So I have a 2005 Ford F-150 Flareside. That's the truck I have. What I'm planning on doing this summer is I'm planning on taking a 2-week cross-country road trip. And within that road trip, I'm trying to keep it budget friendly. So what I wanted to do is, instead of going to hotel rooms every night, I wanted to try and do the majority of the trip camping. I do not like to sleep on the ground. So I was looking into alternatives, and they make these products called rooftop tents. And what they are, they're tents that actually mount on top of a ladder rack or roof rack or something along those lines. You can do your own research and see what they look like. I think they're really cool, a really cool idea. I definitely think that or me personally, I definitely feel safer when I'm elevated off the ground, several feet. So on my Flareside truck, I don't have racks. Being a welder and a bit of a blacksmith, I figured, you know what, it'd be no problem for me to make my own racks. It's actually something I've always wanted to do because I can do all types of cool things, mount some cleats, tie up some ropes, drop some LEDs, clearance lights, the whole 9 yards. And of course, moving material and ladders around. So the main purpose of me trying to build this is for this rooftop tent. Now, the issue with Flareside trucks, or my truck in particular, which I'd imagine this is common with a lot of other trucks, is it's really difficult for me to determine an effective and robust way to mount this ladder rack that I plan to make onto the actual truck. Let me turn the camera around and show you what I'm dealing with here. Alright, so it's a bit of a mess, yes I know. So what's going on in the back of the bed? Well, I have a soft cover. This is a piece to the soft cover. This is a plastic trim piece that hides this monstrosity of sheet metal that basically frames out the bed. Now, on a standard box truck, this would be a straight bed rail, and you have little pockets, and it would be very easy to run a piece of angle down along the length of this and have, decent spots to secure that piece of angle onto your actual truck bed. And then from there, then you can easily weld up a rack of whatever you want. Flareside, much more difficult. It's going to be very challenging to create a robust anchor. So I peeled back the trim, and this is just held on here with clips. If I wanted to take the trim off completely, I'd have a bit of an ugly mess up here, but I'm kind of thinking that's what it's going to come down to. I'm going to have to take this trim off in order to mount a piece of angle on here. So if you look straight down this, maybe you can see it right there. So this bed is actually concave. In the middle, it kind of pushes out, and on the ends, it kind of pushes in. So there's probably an inch of offset in the middle of this. That makes it very challenging for me to put a piece of angle in there, because it's gonna come in the center of the bed, which I think I could do that. If I put the angle up here, I could cut out pieces along the corners here. Here's the main issue that I'm really dealing with right now, is how to mount this sucker on here. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, you have all these, holes right here that you could attach bolts to. Let me see if I can show you the movement in this. See that plane there? This is not really that robust. I mean, towards the center, it definitely does get more robust. But towards the ends, I mean, you look, it's just kind of overlapped, and you have this small kind of rivet that's kind of holding the sheet metal together. So I'm really questioning how strong this is. Again, in the center, I think I'd be alright, but I really don't want to take this trim off because it's going to look ugly on the top. I guess I figure if I put the angle on the top and I kind of cut out the contours, it may look okay. What else did I want to say? But here's the other issue I'm facing. Like I mentioned a minute ago, I have these holes, which I could drop bolts through. However, how am I going to access this? If you could see, they drop right through to the very bottom of the ground there. I'm a small guy, and I cannot fit a hand up through there, so maybe I'd have to make some type of very specialized adapter just to hopefully get bolts in there tightened down, and I mean, it's not as simple as it should be, and I'm really struggling on how I can keep this bed cover still integrated into the system. If I put a piece of angle right here, it's going to bring this bed cover rail in about, I don't know, it may bring it in 2-3 inches in the center and maybe a ½ inch on the ends. And this cover is specifically designed for it to rest on the inside of this rail, like so. So if I bring this in too much, then this Velcro isn't going to engage properly, or I'm going to have a sag in the middle of this cover. So I'm really kind of struggling what to do with this. If I had a tip for you guys, if I had any kind of tip for you guys, it would be never buy a Flareside pickup truck. I just don't understand the practicality of it. You lose so much space in the bed. It's silly. And like what I was showing you underneath that bed rail trim, it's like a bunch of sheet metal held on together with little rivets, you know? It's not robust like a box frame bed. So that's it for today's video. Share your thoughts. If you guys have any good ideas on how to mount this, please share them. I'm kind of running out of ideas here, and I may just have to try that piece of angle, so we'll see.